Guten Morgen, OMR. And Guten Morgen, Hamburg. That's a little German, I know, so I try to greet at least. It's exciting to be here. It's really, since yesterday, we've been absorbing a lot of energy of not just the people who have come here, but also the speakers who are here sharing their knowledge and also learning, right? A few months ago, I don't think any one of us would have imagined that 70,000 of us would be here, exchanging ideas, learning from each other. So before I start my presentation, my talk, I want to first thank millions of frontline workers, doctors, medical staff, and the scientific community who have made this happen and have helped us to put this hope that we can gather together here at this great event. So with that, what is this topic? Tracking in the new world, right? So when I was thinking about what topic should we speak, then I thought this is the best topic that we could come up with, especially because it's closer to the operations at Zoho. And we as marketeers have a responsibility towards this. Responsibility towards protecting the privacy of our users, of our customers, the data that we process. So we thought this is the best topic that I could talk about. So when I started researching on this topic, I looked at what is really happening in the internet, right? So this is a number of pages that popped up when I was just trying to search. So there's definitely some awareness about it. There's definitely some chatters about it on the internet. Then I looked at our governments talking about it. So we saw 137 countries out of 194 have got some kind of legislations in place to protect its users or citizens' privacy. So there's definitely people talking about it. There are governments who are coming up with legislations. But then what is this? This is, any guesses? No? So that's $19.5 billion of fines that the companies have paid since 2018. So there are people talking about it, there are legislations in place, yet there are fines that are being paid by the companies. Right? And this is just tip of the iceberg. And there are many repeat offenders here who are paying huge sum because of the abuse that's happening in our industry. So what happens if you are someone who is leading a global marketing team? Right? You have 137 legislations to worry about. You are basically lost in policies. You have GDPR only in EU. But if you are marketing in Brazil, you have something called as POPI. If you are marketing in Australia, then you have APA. If you are marketing in UK, you have UK Protection Act. You have CCPA in California. So you're basically lost in policies. So now let's rewind back, right? So let's look at why this whole thing came up. So when we look at marketing, we say, personalization is required if you want to do a good marketing. If you want to reach out to your users, you need to personalize your message, you need to personalize your website, you need to personalize your positioning. And cookies promised it. Cookies said, that's the magic cookie. You have it on your website. I'll make a cohort of all the data, all the users that are coming in, and I'll give you what is required to position your website or message. But then what has happened over the last 30 years? 1994 was, I think, the first time they experimented with cookies. So it's been a while. It's been about almost 3 decades. So what is happening with that? Over the period of time, cookies have become middlemen of surveillance capitalism. And what is that? Big word, right? So we know that there are large tech vendors who are making billions of euros every quarter by looking at your data, yours and my data, and putting it to the bidders. So is personalization coming at the cost of privacy is the question we internally started asking. Are we making profits at the cost of trust? Right? And at the end, are we doing marketing at the cost of trust? Because that's what we have to do. We have to engage with our users. We have to engage with our customers, our audience. But while we are doing it, are we really doing it at the cost of trust? And how do we switch from marketing to bots to marketing to people? Now, these are some of the questions we pondered with. We asked ourselves internally, how can we change this part of marketing? And how do we have marketing that can build value? How can we use marketing to build sustainable and resilient business? Because that's what is needed. We are in tough economic conditions around the world. We need businesses to be resilient. We need businesses to be sustainable. And how we as marketeers can assist or can lead the business towards more resilience. So now it's all good theory, but I want to give you a story of Zoho, because that's what we do. So it's the most, I'm most confident talking about our story. So this is the story of Zoho. We started our company in 1996. At about 2008, we built our first SaaS product, released into the market, cloud product. And since then, since 2008 to 2020, we had about 63 million users using our products. So these are basically users who are using at least one of the 50 SaaS products we have. I did not mention 2020, the data after 2020, because of a reason. So in 2020, March, we took a decision to remove all third-party cookies from our website. Now, this is a big step for us because we were getting 1 million signups a month. Some of our websites are globally ranked in the top 500s. So there's a lot of visitors who come to our website. So for us to make such a drastic decision, it was a big step. So when I say third-party cookies, we want to include, we also removed Google Analytics from our website. So basically, we were in a black hole. Right? We didn't know anything what was happening with the website. So it was a tough one, especially for the marketeers. And the reason for that was we did not want our users' data to be exposed to third parties who will then expose the data to bidders. And then your data is basically in the web for advertisements and for making, exposing the user's data. So we stopped all cookie-reliant marketing. Now, this is not an advice that anyone can follow, but this is something that worked for us. So that's why we are using it as an example. Now, we are a technology company, so which means we have access to engineering talent. We have access to teams who can build tools. So we use that talent to build tools for our own marketing purposes. So we build tools to manage the experience of visitors to our website. We already have some of these tools like PageSense, like Sales IQ. The idea was how to make sure that our users' data are not being sent knowingly or unknowingly to a third party for advertisement. That was our goal. And we focused. So obviously, we need to find alternate ways. So we focused on building stories and education. Now, it's again, good on theory. How did we do this? We partnered with some of the best minds in the industry, like-minded people, influencers who focus on privacy, education, and other privacy-related subjects. We started to educate the market because building awareness was important. And to our advantage, some of the biggest names in the industry also joined the cause, and they started having privacy-related awareness campaigns. We focused on building value bundles, because in 2020, businesses were forced to make this sudden transition to a new way of working. And it was easy for us because we already had tools. And the marketing team had to bundle those tools together position the tools to the businesses who really want them, so that they are not spending tens of thousands of euros just to have a video meeting or to have a collaboration on the documents when every employee is working remote. So we utilized that opportunity. Then we focused on giving back to the businesses who helped us grow. Now, this was an important part because we have a lot of small businesses around the world who are using our product, and it was a tough time. We all know that. 2021, beginning and end of 2020, business, tourism industry, aviation industry, most of the businesses were down. So we thought this is the best time to help that community. So what happens, right? So now this is all good on screens, but at the end, did it boil down to some growth in business? It did. So we stopped everything in 2020. Now you look at 2021 and 2022. Today, we are about 80 million users, and if everything goes as per the plan, at the end of the year, we might be 90 million users. So the idea, what we want to say is, we can build growth based on trust, not at the cost of it. So at the end, I want to say, cookies are not evil. That's not the message that I want to send. They are not evil. That's not, probably that was not the intention when cookies were developed. But what goes on between the user and the website should always stay between the user and the website. How many of you have watched Fight Club? Yeah? All of you? OK, most of you. So that is the rule of the Fight Club, right? Whatever happens in the Fight Club should stay within the Fight Club. Because it's private. It's sacrosanct. And we as marketeers, we are the guardians of our brands. So we have a responsibility. So let's be proud of marketing that we do. Yeah, that's from my end. Thank you very much.